Welcome to this week's edition of OutTV Atlanta.
And we'd like to welcome our newest team member, Dawn Woods. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you very much.
And you covered a story this week already.
Yes, I participated with the Atlanta Lesbian Cancer Initiative Garden Party on Sunday, and it was a tremendous event.
Oh, it's a great group.
Yes,
Yeah.
great.
We also did a golf benefit for the Georgia Equality Project and Fourth Tuesday. About 125 players there, had a great time.
Mostly women?
Well, there were 4 men there, and I think they had a little bit of a handicap.
That's okay.
The Choice celebration this weekend was a lot of fun. It was a fundraiser for the Atlanta Feminist Women's Health Center. And also I spoke with Cleve Jones, who is signing copies of his book, Stitching a Revolution. He is the founder of the AIDS Quilt and a well-known AIDS activist.
And I was out to Pine Lake, which is just northeast of downtown. A place you probably never heard of, but it's a nice little new diverse community. It's the first of our OutTV Atlanta community profiles.
Oh, neat.
And this week was National Coming Out Day week.
Yes, it was. So if you are youth between 13 and 24, please visit the website at Youth Pride, www.youthpride.org, and they'll give you some help on trying to come out to your family and your friends.
And there are some churches in town, too.
Yes, you can get help at St. Mark United Methodist Church, located on the corner of 5th and Peachtree Street. It's a very welcoming and giving church.
You can always contact your local PFLAG. They're always very supportive.
And of course, we have the Gay and Lesbian Community Center in Atlanta, and that's where you'll find all the publications where you can look up all these groups.
So stick around for all the great stories coming up.
Club 1, voted Savannah's #1 dance club. At 1 Jefferson Street, downtown Savannah. Come see us. We're hot.
Each of us has an important reason for walking in AIDS Walk Atlanta.
Because every 13 minutes, one more American is infected with HIV.
Because I know that the new treatments mean hope, not victory.
Because I want kids to grow up in a world free of AIDS.
And because AIDS is still a crisis, period.
Register today for AIDS Walk Atlanta, a 10-kilometer fundraising walkathon benefiting AIDS Atlanta and other AIDS service and education providers. Call 404-876-WALK.
Why will you walk?
Georgia Equality Project and OutTV Atlanta remind all gay citizens to get out and vote on November 7th. Remember, your vote, all citizens' votes count in America. Vote Tuesday, November 7th.
The 4th annual Women's Choice celebration was held at the Park Tavern. Various musicians entertained the crowd who had all come out to support the Atlanta Feminist Women's Health Center volunteer program, the Young Women's Leadership Project, and the Chrysalis program. Can you explain the Women's Leadership Committee?
The Young Women's Leadership Project is basically a structure that we applied to the volunteer and intern program. We found that although people want to get involved with us and volunteer and give their time to a very worthy cause, that we wanted to make sure that they were getting just more than volunteering experience. So, and we felt that women needed, particularly young women, needed opportunities to develop leadership skills and to be able to learn more about what it's like to work in a nonprofit and to do grassroots leadership, and grassroots organizing. So what we did was we applied very specific workshops and internship programs and opportunities for women to learn about nonprofits and grassroots organizing, and then as they stay involved and get involved, we give more responsibility and more leadership so that they can develop those, because in the real world a lot of them are just, are in college or starting off in their new jobs. They don't necessarily have that opportunity. So with us, they can, be in college or just out of college and put together a massive, large fundraising activity and really get a lot out of it. So,
Great. Congratulations. It's a great project.
thank you.
This is Rob Martin.
And Joey Wills.
And we're at the Browns Mill Golf Course in southeast Atlanta. And what are we doing out here today?
Well, this is a benefit. There are a couple of organizations here. Of course, the Georgia Equality Project is here with Fourth Tuesday. The Georgia Equality Project, you know, is mounting a massive ad and postcard campaign aimed at major Georgia corporations to provide domestic partner benefits.
And 3 of their top naughty 9 have already come around?
Yes.
What were those? Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola, Atlanta Gas Light, and Delta.
Delta. And we're also here for Fourth Tuesday, and they've got a scholarship fund. They've already raised $13,000, some of which has gone to the Lesbian Cancer Initiative, and they also have an ongoing annual scholarship to a
local lesbian who's going to receive that every year.
So we're going to watch about 125 people play golf today.
We sure are.
Gay men and women. Can they play golf?
Well, I think the men have a little bit of a handicap, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, we'll see you on the course. "126 players, 120 women, and 6 men turned out and took to their carts on a cool Saturday at Browns Mill Golf Course, a beautiful setting off Cleveland Avenue in southeast Atlanta. Georgia Equality Projects and Fourth Tuesday's 4th annual Fall Scramble is a 2-person team play described as low pressure in which all skill levels compete. Each team has up to 8 mulligans, a mulligan being allowing an extra shot with no penalty. Stephanie Troncalli of Fourth Tuesday Atlanta explained the tournament.
It's a best ball tournament. We've always had a great tournament and great success.
I heard that you had too many people actually. You had to turn away some, unfortunately.
Yes, we did. We sold out. I've been amazed. We have turned away about 7 teams, 7 foursomes.
That's so great.
Yeah.
How much do you plan on raising with this? Do you have an estimate? Or?
We believe we'll raise about $7,000 from the tournament.
That's so great. I'm here with Herb right here to my left and Mike over to my right, 2 of the token men here at this tournament. There are actually 5 of them here, but listen, we need more participation out of you guys on these type of tournaments. We want to start up a male golfing, gay man golfing tournament here in Atlanta, and Herb is just the guy to do it here. He's got lots of experience. What do you think you're going to shoot today? Do you have any estimates?
I've never seen the course, but I'm sure we'll be under par.
Mike?
Scramble.
I have no idea. I've never played with these guys, and I don't play about 3 or 4 times a year, so we'll see.
Rumor has it that the guys have a handicap here. Did you know about that?
Really?
What is that handicap?
Number 1 handicap is I got to go to the bathroom in the clubhouse.
OutTV Atlanta's Joey Wills took his first golf lessons from Sherry Church. Who says gay men don't play golf?
Oh! That would have been nice. Right here, out on the ball. Oh!
Hold your head up.
Oh!
Hair with attitude, without the attitude. Salon 2000.
Pride Realty, because there's no place like home. Whether you're buying, selling, renting, or relocating, Pride Realty has you covered. We're nationally recognized for our unique service to the gay and lesbian community. Call us at 404-352-5570 or visit our website at priderealty.com.
Hello, I'm attorney Kathy Alterman. I have practiced law in courts all over the state of Georgia, and I understand your particular issues. Let me fight your battles for you. Call me at 404-688-8400. I will fight for you.
Hi, I'm Joey Wills. We're at the Biltmore. For Haven's Sake is a benefit for the Haven House Foundation, which provides hospice care for terminally ill patients. Inside tonight, they're having a wonderful silent auction and a live auction. Let's go in and see what's happening. Could you tell us about the Haven House and what it does exactly?
Yes, Haven House was founded in 1991 by myself. I'm a nurse, and my husband, who has healthcare finance, and we were founded as the first inpatient hospice in Atlanta of any kind. We're very proud of that, and we were founded specifically for people with AIDS in 1991. There was no care for AIDS out of the hospital setting at that time, and we have served over 1,500 patients in the 10 years that we've been in existence. The foundation expanded its mission in 1996 to include all terminal diagnoses. Fortunately, people with AIDS are living longer, but I don't want us to forget people are still dying of AIDS.
So tell me about this evening. It's a wonderful event that you've put on.
It is. This is our 6th annual For Haven's Sake, and it's generally this weekend in September, the 3rd weekend. And it is a silent auction and a live auction with artwork and trips and trips to Highlands, North Carolina, and just lots of fun and live music, and it's a great event.
This is an excellent event. How much last year did you get, for example, for an event
Last
like
year
this?
we got about $43,000, and this year we're hoping to get closer to 50, 55.
Great, and you also have an auction tonight,
Yes.
and then a silent auction as
Yes,
well,
we
right?
have a live auction with about 10 items, and then we have about 120 silent auction items.
Well, great, you did an excellent job here. It looks like it's a big success.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking to us.
Okay.
U.S. Surgeon General David Satcher headlined the major speakers list at the United States Conference on AIDS, which drew 3,000 religious leaders, medical professionals, AIDS health workers, and community activists to Atlanta's Hyatt Regency Hotel. The conference was co-sponsored by the National Minority AIDS Council and AIDS service organizations from throughout the United States. Other speakers included Sandra Thurman, National AIDS Policy Director and America's so-called AIDS czar, and former Executive Director of AIDS Atlanta. Plus Cleve Jones, founder of the AIDS Memorial Quilt, formerly called the Names Project, and author of a new book, Stitching a Revolution, which we review in tonight's show. And Rudy Galindo, world-renowned gay champion skater, AIDS survivor, and co-chairman of the National Minority AIDS Council. The 4-day conference featured dozens of general sessions, seminars, roundtables, workshops, and exhibitors, all focused on the problem of HIV and AIDS in people of color. It comes on the heels of the 13th International AIDS Conference in South Africa. OutTV Atlanta's Clint Ashley spoke with Valerie Reed Bay and Amisha Monique Wilburn, co-authors of a new book, My Grandma Has AIDS.
And together they have written a book entitled My Grandma Has AIDS, Anisha's Story. We want to ask a few questions. Anisha, how was it when you found out that your grandmother had AIDS? How did that affect you exactly? Did you know exactly what AIDS was, or what was the deal with that?
I really didn't understand what HIV and AIDS was, so my grandmother helped me understand as I got older.
And did you have to take any classes or anything like that to help you understand, or just what your grandmother told you?
Just what my grandmother told me.
How did it affect you when you found out that you had AIDS? How did you feel for your granddaughter?
Well, actually, I was a bit scared, because kids are really cruel. I wanted her to know, and I didn't want her to be afraid of me. The only thing people knew about AIDS was you get it, you die. And people were afraid to touch, And I wanted her to know that she could touch me and she could love me and we could kiss on the lips and everything. And that's important. A lot of grown-ups won't touch me. Yet here's a child that, in our words, is bringing it out to the public, that you can love someone with AIDS. And that's very important, So it's helped a lot. We've over 250,000 copies of this book has been printed, and it's everywhere, and we want it to go more places.
Joe's on Juniper, a Midtown tavern, a fabulous place to come and meet friends on our patio. We have inside 5 fireplaces. We have full bar featuring 32 draft beers, 101 bottled beers. We featured salads, burgers, hot dogs, turkey wraps, chicken wraps, great food, open till 2 a.m., Monday through Saturday, closed at 12 on Sundays.
Hello, I'm attorney Kathy Alterman. I have practiced law in courts all over the state of Georgia, and I understand your particular issues. Let me fight your battles for you. Call me at 404-688-8400. I will fight for you.
Hair with attitude, without the attitude. Salon 2000. Club 1, voted Savannah's #1 dance club. At 1 Jefferson Street, downtown Savannah. Come see us. We're hot.
Pride Realty, because there's no place like home. Whether you're buying, selling, renting, or relocating, Pride Realty has you covered. We're nationally recognized for our unique service to the gay and lesbian community. Call us at 404-352-5570 or visit our website at priderealty.com.
Hello, you're joining me at the Colin Wald Fine Arts Center. This is where the Atlanta Lesbian Cancer Initiative is holding their fall garden party. And it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful place. So come on in, let's check it out. Highlights of the garden party included a silent auction, photo exhibition, and a presentation of the Denny Dutcher Healing Angel Award to this year's recipient, Dr. Tony Rossi. The funds raised at this year's garden party will be used to start a volunteer program to provide direct assistance to lesbians with cancer. Will you tell me about the Lesbian Cancer Initiative?
Well, it was founded in the end of the 90s to provide support for lesbians who find themselves on a cancer journey and their families, their partners, their pets, if they can be helped. We provide support groups. We provide literature and referrals, if necessary, to more friendly physicians who will treat people openly, or kindly. And when you're on a journey like this, you and your partner should feel free to speak. And sometimes that's not always the case.
Is it that is there a higher rate of cancer in lesbians, or is it just they don't have as much detection?
Well, it's not a higher rate per se, but women, the statistics on women in general is pretty high for cancer, and lesbians are among them. And when a lesbian is diagnosed, her journey is a bit different than a heterosexual woman who has privileges, if you will, in our society. So there's a wonderful lesbian health movement going on all over the country, so that when lesbians have to have medical treatment, they are treated fairly and have support systems in place.
Okay, and is this the main fundraiser, the garden party?
Yes, it's our main fundraiser, but not our only fundraiser per year, and it's a wonderful opportunity to invite the community to support this great cause.
We are here at Outright Books with the legendary Cleve Jones as he signs some of his copies of Stitching a Revolution. Thank you for taking time out to talk to us, and it is such an honor to meet you.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And I guess your book is a chronicle of not only the AIDS quilt, but your life and your activism.
Yeah, I got to San Francisco shortly after graduating from high school, and had the good fortune of meeting Harvey Milk while he was still running for the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, and was very involved with the gay liberation movement in San Francisco in the 1970s, and was there for the beginning of the AIDS epidemic.
How did you come to the idea to start the AIDS quilt?
I had the idea of the quilt at about 9:35 p.m. on the evening of November 27th, 1985. November 27th is the anniversary of the murder of Harvey Milk and George Moscone. And every year in San Francisco we have a candlelight march to remember those two men. And in 1985, I was walking up and down Castro Street with my staple gun, putting up posters reminding people of the march. And I stopped and picked up a copy of the newspaper, and the front page headline said that 1,000 San Franciscans had already been killed by this new disease. I knew almost all of those first 1,000. They were friends, they were people I'd worked with, and people I had found referrals for when they got sick. And I was standing there at Castro and Market, and I knew that of those 1,000, almost every one of them had lived and died within just a few blocks of where I was standing, and there was no evidence. And if you walk down Castro Street, it's beautiful restored Victorians, coffee shops, bars, music, restaurants. You have no idea that you're standing at ground zero of this calamity. And I was so frustrated and angry about it. And so a few nights later, as people gathered for the Candlelight March, I had stacks of cardboard and sacks of magic marker, and I asked everybody to write down the name of one person they knew who had been killed. And people were afraid to do it. They were ashamed. They wrote initials or just the first name. And then finally there was one guy who taped 2 pieces of cardboard together and printed in big block letters, Thomas J. Farnsworth Jr., my brother.
Aww.
And after that, people began writing out the complete names, and we marched with our candles to City Hall. And then I had everybody go another couple blocks to the old Federal Building, where I'd hidden extension ladders in the shrubbery. And when the cops weren't looking, we pushed past them and put our ladders up on the wall, and with big rolls of tape, climbed 3 stories up on this gray stone Federal Building and covered it with the names of our dead. And after I got off the ladder, I walked through the crowd, and I could hear people whispering about their friends whose names were on the wall. And when I got to the edge of the crowd, I looked back, and I looked at that patchwork, and I thought it looks like a quilt. And when I said that word to myself, I thought of my grandma, my great-grandma, and it was such a warm, comforting, middle-class, middle American, traditional family values sort of symbol.
Right.
And I thought, what a great symbol to match with this disease that's killing gay people, IV drug users, Haitian immigrants, hemophiliacs, people that were on the fringe of our society and whose lives were not fully valued. And I thought about it for 1.5 years, and during that 1.5 years, everybody I knew told me that the idea totally sucked. It was the stupidest thing they'd ever heard of. And then I tested positive, I got attacked by fag bashers, and my best friend died, and I was pretty much consumed with hate and fear and despair. And went in my backyard and made the first quilt for Marvin Feldman, and the hate turned into love, the fear turned into courage, and the despair turned into hope. And I thought, if it can do that for me, it can do it for everybody. And now it's the world's largest art project. We have affiliates in 50 nations around the world, and the fastest growing quilt today is the South African AIDS Memorial Quilt.
Yes, of course, I'm sure.
I think we in this country, and especially in the gay and lesbian community, I think there's a growing complacency and a feeling that the epidemic is over because so many of us are benefiting from the new treatments. And I myself almost died in 1994. I was very sick with pneumocystis pneumonia, and I've been on the combination therapy since the end of '94. I've been healthy and strong, but these medications are not available to the overwhelming majority of people on the planet who are living with HIV disease, and I think that we in the West have a responsibility.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for taking time before signing all these wonderful books.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it really was an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Rob Martin with another OutTV Atlanta Community Profile. This week, OutTV Atlanta visits Pine Lake, Georgia, in DeKalb County, perhaps one of the metro area's little known, but nonetheless very diverse communities. To the background music of the group Cowboy Envy, Pine Lake Mayor Al Fowler, who is openly gay and a key player in the DeKalb County Democratic Party, described the breadth of community diversity.
We're learning about it. We have a 50% plus female population, 30 to 35% gay and lesbian population, and growing. About 25% African American, a growing Hispanic population. It's a very diversified community.
We're going to be driving around and looking at some of the houses. You have a lot of new construction along with these wonderful little pre-1950 houses.
Right. We've had more new construction and renovation in the last 18 months than the city had had in 20 years.
Now, you had a little trouble last year, bad news, and I assume that's all passing us by. Now, what's going on?
Well, exactly what's going on is I think you're looking at a city that was known for its exclusiveness, that in the amazing time of 18 months, we've been able to, with the help of our state senators, a lot of people turn it into a very inclusive community, which includes everybody. And it's all not behind us. You know, it took a long time to get to where we were at, but we're well on the way to moving forward and building a new community.
Okay.
Hi.
Excuse me.
How are you?
Hi. Hi. You can be with us. You want to talk to us?
Good.
You know this is the mayor? This is the mayor of the town. Well, we were just
welcome to Pine Lake.
Yeah, welcome to Pine Lake. We were just talking about the diversity of this community. You know, there are a lot of blacks and whites and Hispanics. Everybody's living together in peace. Isn't that great?
Yes. And at a church we getting new people. We're getting a new preacher.
New preacher?
Yes, and we're gonna be happy because all the black people who need the church that can come.
Well, that's
all the other people who need a church that can come too.
That's great.
What church do you go to?
Pine Lake Baptist.
Pine Lake Baptist.
Excellent.
We want to ask the mayor one more question about today's event. So you stay right here, man. This is called October Lake Fest, and this is your first?
This is our first.
And tell us
October
about
Lake
the
Fest.
art show and so forth.
The art show. This community has turned into a wonderful community that's filled with artists. We have musicians, painters, cooks, very diverse, filled with artists. And this is a celebration of their art to tell the world that we're a different community, a growing community, and not only that we're artistic, but we can put on a damn good show.
Okay, we're going to say goodbye now. You want to say goodbye? Say, this is OutTV Atlanta.
This is OutTV Atlanta.
Thank you, Kathleen. Pine Lake's October Lake Fest provided a great opportunity to explore the city's many faces and places. This is Rob Martin reporting for OutTV Atlanta.
All right, that's our show for this evening. Now, we're getting ready for Queer Stock next week. I got my Macy Gray hair on, and I got my Lenny Kravitz assets going on here. What's happening next week?
Well, we've got Thursday night, we've got dinner with the Stonewall Democrats.
And I'm going to have breakfast with Aid Atlanta.
We also have the GBAC Awards dinner at the old courthouse in Decatur.
So stay tuned for all the fun.
Be a great show.
See you next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.